Welcome back to Fox Sports Gold. Brian Lara's incredible unbeaten century in the last innings of the third test gave the West Indies a 2-1 series lead heading into the fourth and final test in Antigua. With the Frank Worrell Trophy on the line, Australia needed victory to defend the silverware. As you'll see, the tourists were up to the task.
With the Windies up 2-1 in the series, the Aussies had to win the fourth and final test in Antigua to retain the Frank Worrell Trophy. Partnerships between Steve Waugh and Justin Langer and Waugh and Ricky Ponting were highlights of the Aussies' first innings before a mid-order collapse.
He's gone.
Colin Miller combined with Waugh to provide some big hitting as well as a touch of comedy relief. The wicket of McGrath brought the innings to a close. The Aussies all out for 303. The Windies in reply lost 2 early wickets, bringing that man Lara to the crease.
This is the man the Australians want.
Lovely shot by Lara. Ball pulling. Lovely shot by Lara. Ball pulling up just inside the boundary, but will go all the way. Well, you've got to strike it pretty well on this outfield to reach the boundary, and he did strike that really well.
Well, that just does show you how well he did hit it. We haven't seen too many drives, especially off drives. It wasn't the air for a bit there, but he hit it wide of McGrath, mid-off. Didn't get to the pitch of the delivery, but just hit through the line, picked the gap nicely, and this is what we said. This is Lara's biggest strength, is his gap picking. Strikes the ball, so very rarely does he hit him to the fielders.
Pulled away for 4 more. That's got the crowd jumping.
Well, they're pretty happy with that, aren't they? As they should be. Pretty good shot. Adam Dale just dropping that a touch short. And Lara's ability just onto this so quickly. That is not a short delivery, and he has just whacked that through mid-wicket. Just too. And he has just whacked that through mid-wicket. Just 2 men on the onside, so a huge gap. Yeah, I guess this away again. This will be another 2.
Oh, dropped. Colin Miller dropped it wide mid-on, and Glenn McGrath can't believe his luck.
It's all bad, but all good for Brian Lara. Miller is a very good fieldsman, very good pair of hands, and Brian Lara trying to smack it through mid-wicket, just left him a little bit, which meant he got it on the bottom half of the bat, and Colin Miller has put down a sitter. That has brought the crowd to a buzz. In ground. In ground.
Again, but this time it's through, and that'll go all the way to the fence.
Well, Brian Lara's not playing for a draw, I can assure you of that. That's at the middle of the bat, but it's still in the air until it got to about level with Langer.
And again, what a cracking shot through the offside. Brian Lara not bothering to run. Fantastic cricket. He's gone round the wicket. And classic on drive from Brian Lara. All the way along the ground. Another boundary to finish the over. West Indies 52 for 2.
That's gone. Up and away. That's gone. Up and away. Umpire Orchard is signalling 6 even before the ball has cleared the boundary.
There was absolutely no doubt about that clearing the boundary. Again from outside the off stump, Brian Lara got a good hold of it. Someone in the stands looking out for a catch.
That's flashed away down towards the boundary, not off the very middle of the bat, but enough of it that it raced like a tracer bullet. Unprotected third-man boundary.
Finding the gap again between those two whitish gullies. Not exactly where Brian Lara intended it to go. The right foot not really getting intended it to go. The right foot not really getting right across the pitch of the ball. As you can see there, the right foot not really across. Perhaps that's why it peeled up and went in that direction.
That's Lara's 50. Long hop put away, and Brian Lara goes on to yet another half-century. Pulled away on the first bounce for 4 more.
Well, leg spinners will bowl bad deliveries, and of course Brian Lara won't allow them to go unpunished.
And Lara's got 63 now facing. Full toss over the top and first bounce. Full toss over the top and first bounce. Lara's 11-4.
Not too sure why they elected to bring that mid-on back in. They had a long on, in, out a couple of overs ago. Now he's back.
Gone. Up and away. Over into Factory Road.
They're enjoying this. And so is Brian Lara. He's making this look very easy, Brian Lara. That went a long way.
And that is the absolute backing up batsman killer. 60 runs from his last 25 deliveries, Brian Lara, and he don't hit them any harder than that.
Of course, Brian Lara just 1 shy of the 100. I'm thinking about that at the moment.
That's the leg side, and it's in the air, but he'll bring up the 100. He won't even look for 2. So Brian Lara brings up his 3rd consecutive century. 82 balls, making it the 3rd fastest ever by a West Indian. Viv Richards and Roy Fredericks in front of him only. And in front of an adoring crowd who have behaved impeccably today by not coming onto the oval. Big appeal and he's out. Great catch by Ian Healy. Again, Brian Lara falls to the shortest ball at the body. This time off the glove, and Ian Healy, who's had a lean period in this series, takes a beauty.
Well, this was a very good delivery. Surprised Brian Lara. He's tried to play it again. Just catches the glove, and that is a very good catch from Healy there, and a very relieved wicketkeeper and bowler, and the Australian captain as well. So Brian Lara leaves the field. A magnificent 184 deliveries. Sensational innings. The crowd on their feet. The man is an absolute wizard.
Losing their last 4 wickets for 25 runs to be all out for 222 left the Windies with a deficit of 81. Mark Waugh brought up his 6,000th Test run. Of 81. Mark Waugh brought up his 6,000th Test run in Australia's second innings, and Justin Langer continued his good form.
Pulls, and that's a good shot. Not that short, but Justin Langer quickly onto the back foot and smashed it through mid-wicket. Again, almost identical. Probably even a better shot. Curtly Ambrose can't believe it. Short again, hit again in front of square, and that is 4 more. 3 boundaries in the over.
And he's hit that for 6. Tremendous stroke. And that's his 50 and what an authoritative way to reach a half-century, and a very welcome final half-century indeed by Justin Langer.
Lovely shot, beautifully timed by Justin Langer. He got on the front foot and he... Shot, beautifully timed by Justin Langer. He got on the front foot and he waited, and then made sure that he placed it away from Dave Joseph.
Straight drive down the ground, so that'll go all the way. Griffith after it gives up the chase, and Corey Cullimore, a low full toss and now a half volley put away.
He's edged that one past first slip. It may go to the boundary. No, good piece of fielding. And just past his outside, outstretched arm. Here's Steve Waugh yelling out, come back, so Strictly moves to 98. And Hooper can't prevent the single taking Langer to 99. And the chance to run out, but the 100 comes up for Justin Langer. He turns around to check that Steve Waugh is safe. And comes up for Justin Langer. He turns around to check that Steve Waugh is safe, and well played at Justin Langer. His third Test century. He came in again batting at number 3, a position that he's trying to make his own. And just for glimpses yesterday, he showed the public how well he can play and how aggressively he can play.
He slammed that down the ground, and he's hit that very well, and it's gone. A good flat 6. Gone again. One bounce to the boundary. So acceleration here from Justin Langer.
Oh, about him. What a delivery. And Stuart McGill and Colin Miller's eyes have lit up. What a fantastic delivery from Carl Hooper. To bowl a man on 127 with this.
Well, it went a long way, didn't it? That was the surprise of the morning. And Lang. Well, it went a long way, didn't it? That was the surprise of the morning. And Langer, 127. Very good innings from him indeed. Just what the doctor ordered.
Australia lost their last 8 wickets for only 97, giving the Windies a target of 388 from a day and a half's play.
It's just after lunch. Australia has the task of getting 10 wickets for the Frank Worrell Trophy. The West Indies, 388. or a draw for the Frank Worrell Trophy.
Glenn McGrath, what an absolute ripper to start things going.
2 slips, a floating slip and a regulation gully with the back pad. Too short and pulled away nicely. May not go all the way, although the hard new ball might run across the surface. It does.
Full toss, and this is hit through mid-wicket. Ricky Ponting gives chase. Will he drag it in? No.
And that's an easy catch to mid-on. So Dale gets his revenge. Dave Joseph goes. Rather soft dismissal. Always seemed as if he wanted to attack Dale, and the West Indies lose their first wicket. Joseph going for 17.
Just getting a little bit carried away here, Dave Joseph. Looking to play that through the onside. The ball just straightening and the leading edge taking. Very simple catch for Greg Blewett at mid-on.
So I think as Brian Lara comes in, there'll be hundreds of thousands of people, perhaps most of them on the field itself, who figure that this could well be the match. Norris. Norris currying through for the single.
That's good cricket from both Lara and Sherwin Campbell.
He's got him. Wild shot by Campbell. Very good catch by Ian Healy. West Indies have lost 2 wickets in very quick succession. Glenn McGrath comes back to take Sherwin Campbell.
Very wide delivery, that one from Glenn McGrath. Sherwin Campbell went for it though. That's what he was looking for, Glenn McGrath. Bit of width, but the length tempted the batsman. Looking for that drive. And the outside edge found. West Indies 58 for 2.
Very good cricket now. 2 very experienced players in. One of the best players in the world. Two very experienced players in, one of the best players in the world, and a man who's played 80 tests at the other end. They know that they've got to get rid of Glenn McGrath without losing another wicket. Can they do it? Big shot. Did he get the inside edge? No, he didn't. They can't do it. So McGrath has got the man they wanted out this evening, and he's gone with over an hour of play remaining today. He had Lara caught on the crease. He just couldn't get his bat in front of his pad in time. And a reward for a brilliant spell of bowling by Australia's premier fast bowler.
Said it all, David. Premier fast bowler. The ball coming back at Brian Lara, catching him right in front. David Orchard, no mistake. And Glenn McGrath celebrates. All his teammates know that that is the big wicket. Brian Lara is out for 7. West Indies 3 for 69.
He's gone leg before. Adam Dale strikes a crucial blow. Blewett, in fact. Greg Blewett brought on almost as an experiment. And look at the look of happiness on his face.
Well, he's been nagging outside off stump. This time he's got the one to come back in. Cutting right across, tucking the bat in behind there. And umpire Orchard says, on your way. So Blewett's done the damage. Carl Hoop is on his way for 12. and the fourth West Indian wicket down for 87.
And that's a lovely shot. Beautifully timed, will go all the way. Low full toss and well put away by Adams to raise the 100 for the West Indies.
Well, this shot brings the 100 up. Full toss from McGill. Tossed it up. Adams just moves forward, turns it into a full toss. Straight through. Up. Adams just moves forward, turns it into a full toss. Straight through extra cover.
Two left-handers in, another one to come in, two more to come in the innings. Brilliantly stumped by Healy. There is a request for the television replay, but that's brilliant work down the leg side by Healy. He's being swamped by the Australian players.
Well, the Australians seem pretty confident about this. Jimmy Adams not moving, as you wouldn't, but that was very quick work from Healy. Miller fires it quickly down the leg side, does go forward, lifts that foot up, and I'm afraid that's out. Very quick hands from Healy there. Very good piece of work from the bowler and the keeper. And that's not what the West Indies needed. Jimmy Adams has a look. But I think deep down he would have... Jimmy Adams has a look. But I think deep down he would have known that one. Very good work from the Australians there.
Just one and a bat for the second. So Rid Jacobs gets the first runs of the day from the bat. Man out there for Jacobs, which a little bit surprising to see that they're trying to get Jacobs on the hook. We haven't seen Jacobs up all that much in the series.
A good bounce out. And a chance for a run out if he hits the stumps and overthrows instead. So Griffiths is shaking his head. He gets the extra run, and he probably should have got another couple, but it may well have just knocked him around a bit on the helmet, and he's just given the brains a bit of a wobble. On the helmet, and he's just given the brains a bit of a wobble.
There's a nasty blow. He gets caught through for the single, gets to the other end, runs into the umpire. And it's all happening. He doesn't realise that the ball has gone past the stumps for overthrow. Quite a nasty bump. I don't know which hurt more, the hit in the head or the hit by the umpire.
McGill bowling on the fifth and final day of this test match and the final day of the series. Bit of loop and lovely shot from Griffin. Beautifully played. Square drive, in fact. Just waited for it. It was a bit more loop, a bit more flight, and he clipped it through the offside.
Well, this is a great shot. We're talking about Adrian Griffith's strength on the onside, but that is a tremendous shot. Very full delivery and a very good shot square of the wicket.
Pulled away, the long hop dispatched down to the boundary. Pulled away, the long hop dispatched down to the boundary by Jacobs before. So even when you're being careful, when a bad ball comes along, you put it away. 141 for 5.
Big shout, and that's out. So what a wicket for the Australians just before lunch. And Jacobs never looked comfortable today. He's had a pretty good series with the bat. Greg Brewer gets his second wicket.
Well, again, LBW as well. That one just holding its line. Jacobs fully across the stumps there. Umpire Orchard says that's out. A big wicket there for Greg Blewett, pretty pleased with himself.
In swinger, and he tried the Yorker, but it got clipped away beautifully. It was a full toss, and it goes to the boundary. 150 up for the West Indies. .150 up for the West Indies. 151 for 6. One will spurt before lunch. He replaces Greg Blewett, who had a very good morning. He's got 2 for 9 from 8 overs. He's got the wickets of Hooper yesterday and Jacobs this morning. McGrath immediately goes past the bat. So as soon as McGrath comes on, the game just goes up a notch.
Well, that ball swinging considerably too as well. Did pretty well to miss that. It's been there for 150 deliveries so far, almost 200 minutes. A very good show of patience from Griffith. Struck on the elbow yesterday, went off the field injured. Come back on late yesterday afternoon when the wickets fell. He did a pretty good job here this morning as well.
Griffith would be a very frustrating batsman to bowl to as West Indies dressing room watches on. Campbell, Ambrose on the left. McGrath just getting out some of the stiffness by a bouncer.
He hasn't given too much away, Glenn McGrath, when he's been on at any stage in this series. As he spells so far, very miserly in the run department. Bowled with a lot of fire.
Beautifully bowled. Griffith played at that one. A lot of the balls that he plays, he lets go in the end, but in this one he genuinely played at that. You see the bat just chasing the ball to the offside before he dragged it away. I saw Ambrose yesterday, Jeff, with the old ball, bowled beautifully, and Brian Lara didn't take it. So I wonder after lunch whether Steve Waugh will ask Ben McGrath if he wants to have another 1 or 2 overs with this old ball.
Well, it'll be totally up to the bowler, isn't it? They do ask, you know, what do you prefer? And a man of McGrath's ability, he'll respect his decision. But this one going nicely. And McGrath just getting it to move both ways. There's still plenty of bounce in it too as well.
If he does decide to use the old ball, it does give Steve Waugh the option of using Miller or McGill from the other end. Still one shot, pretty shiny. So McGrath finishes the over with a bounce out. 156 for 6.
Another maiden. Then McGrath brought back on before lunch. Griffith survives. Well, pretty well. Then McGrath. Griffith's batted pretty well. On the other hand, just one more over to go before the luncheon break, and a welcome rest for the West Indies batsmen.
One over remaining before lunch, 1 over until the new ball is due. Jacobs, the last man out. LBW to Greg Blewett. Perry on strike. And Perry didn't pick that one. He put his front foot down and hoped. The wrong one at the back of the hand. And Perry thought it was the leg break. So that'll give you something to think about.
Those balls basically going sideways, some of the ones McGill bowls. Really a lot of spin on them. This pitcher, plenty of grip on it to the spin bowlers.
I'm sure Stuart McGill is happy to be bowling on this pitch. He's turning. There's some pretty good bounce for him as well, given that it is the 5th day of this match. Just probably need a wicket just to settle himself down. And nearly got one there. Well fielded by Ponting.
A good delivery, this one. Just got it outside the line there. Perry had to play at it. Did keep it down. Fell well short of Ponting's outstretched hand.
Full toss. Whipped away. Past Justin Langer, who had a heart flutter. It's just the 2 runs. Blew it.
Well, it's not the delivery you want to see, is it, if you bat pad on the onside? A waist, well, shin high full toss. Outside leg stump, and hope, luckily for Langer, it went right between his legs.
And the wrong one, and just a bit short, which allowed Perry the opportunity to play it off the pitch. He didn't pick it in the air. So Perry survives the last ball wrong and before lunch. 156, 158 for 6, the West Indies, and in this session, 33 overs the Australians bowled. Took an early wicket out of Jimmy Adams, and a late wicket that of Ridley Jacobs, to take 2 for 53 in the pre-lunch session on this, the final day of the 4th test, the final day of the series.
Who?
What? When?
Where?
For the answer to every sporting question, tune into Sky Sports Centre, a dynamic sports service,
Making and breaking the news.
completely reliable and right up to the minute.
That's the news just in.
It's the first for the latest.
News, views, action and reaction.
If you're really into sport, this is the show for you. Sky Sports Centre in association with Strongbow, weekdays 6 and 10, Sky Sports 1. For people serious about sport.
B&Q is bringing down the cost of gardening.
Take these 24 pansy. Fill your garden with colour for only £4.50 a box. You get brilliant value when you B&Q it.
From the writer of Screen and Screen 2.
Please report to the principal's office.
Director of Desperado, and from dusk till dawn comes a new thriller.
Did you hear that? Now we're gonna have some fun.
Don't question authority.
We can stop it.
Destroy it.
Always wanted to do that.
The Faculty.
Bye, darling.
The new Renault Kangoo. Can a van change your life?
Oh, darling.
The van that can.
USAC intercepted a radio transmission from a decaying orbit around Neptune. Appears to be a human voice.
Bioscan is on the line.
We are 3 billion clicks from the nearest outpost. This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. Who knows where it's been? This place is a tomb.
Scanning for life form.
Of what it's brought back with it.
Life scan just went off the scale.
20 hours, we run out of air.
No one's coming to help us.
The first showing of Event Horizon, Saturday at 10 on Sky Premiere. The biggest films every Saturday night, guaranteed.
Welcome back to a lunch. The West Indies were just about hanging on, 158 for 6. We're going to rejoin the action now. 3 overs after the break. A few runs have been added. It's 166 for 6. Here comes McGrath to Griffith, and in the commentary box an all West Indian attack, Cozier and Holding.
West Indies resuming with 4 wickets down today, losing Adams and Jacobs before the break. McGrath looking for his first wicket of the day. Wickets falling to Colin Miller, who had Adams stumped down the leg side, and Blewett, who had Jacobs' leg before. So a couple for Griffith, now carrying him to 35.
Looking for that LBW again, Glenn McGrath, just straying a bit onto the legs.
Well kept out, kept a little bit low.
Has been there a very long time, though, Adrian Griffith. Should be seeing the ball reasonably well. Just hitting on the toe of the bat, very, very low down.
Gone over the top. It'll be leg byes. Taking him on the shoulder, seemingly, and flying over Healy.
He has gotten a lot of these short balls, Adrian Griffith. Playing them a lot better this time, though. Did get hit on that occasion, but at least he's trying to get out of the way instead of just taking the blows, just brushing the shoulder. No serious problems there. Close call. We did see one being gloved down the leg side yesterday from Adrian Griffith, just outside the reach of Ian Healy. This time it went by safely. Oh, so close.
David Orchard certainly has had a lot of questions to answer throughout the match, and even more so in this innings, but that wasn't out.
You'd have to think that was just a pretty hopeful appeal. Not a serious ask from behind the stumps, as we saw there. Healy, slip fielders not really going up.
Just a disturbance as Glenn McGrath gets someone well known to us in the commentary box here, away from the sight screen. Very well bowled over from McGrath again. 172 for 6.
Creeping along steadily, the West Indies. Adrian Griffith playing a very, very long knock here for his country. It's McGill again. saw some reverse swing from Glenn McGrath in his last over, and the last delivery really went a long way.
Not quite short enough, going back for the forcing shot he played in the previous over. Off the bottom edge, looking for a big hike into the leg side. Perry just unsettled at the moment.
Not what was advised, one would think, hitting against the spin like this. Right through the legs of Ian Healy. Couldn't have been expected to take that though, Ian Healy.
Lovely shot. Tremendous off drive down the ground by Perry. Half volley put away.
No, that is a lot better. Straight down the ground. That is where you should be hitting them. And well struck. Well, at least they are not fielders. They certainly take better pictures than they do fielding.
Well, they've seen cricket. Ben Radford from All Sport, and I think it's David Gray down there. Cover cricket all over the world. End of the over, 178 for 6. Perry levelling his highest test score, which was made in the first innings of the Barbados Test match. And Adrian Griffith also levelled with his highest test score made in the second innings of that match. Both have had their problems, Griffith not least of the two, but he's always concentrated on the next ball. Had a real jewel here with McGrath.
I just wonder how long they will persist with Glenn McGrath with this old ball. Of course, perhaps they'll think to themselves that they can afford to use him with the old ball along with McGill, and then if things don't work out quite the way they expect, there's always Colin Miller and Adam Dale to bowl the new ball. Pretty fit man as well, Glenn McGrath. I've seen him do a lot of bowling throughout this test series without looking to tire. So one would suspect maybe this spell might just be about 4, at most 5 overs.
Nicely played off the legs by Griffith. He is strong in that area. Picks up a couple.
Adrian Griffith very conscious of the fact to know that Glenn McGrath is getting the ball to go in 2 directions. Or perhaps he's not even swinging a lot in to the left-hander, but at least straightening.
There's that strength off his legs once more, gaining more runs for Griffith. Just the 2 again.
Very straight, those deliveries. If he misses, he's going to be in a bit of bother, but he's equal to the task again, Adrian Griffith. Watching those balls coming back in.
After this over there, another 52 minimum remaining for Australia to finish off this match, and it's a long, long way for the West Indies to go. They've really fought very hard today, especially in light of the early dismissal of Jimmy Adams, their most experienced of the remaining batsmen. End of the over, 182 for 6. McGill will continue to Perry. McGill now in his 18th over. Raucous appeal from McGill.
What for? That is the question. Obviously well wide of off stump. You can see 3 stumps behind that front leg.
Not out. Now he decides to come round the wicket. Flicked away for a couple. So now Nehemiah Perry joins Adrian Griffith on their highest test scores. Certainly very useful to have a player who is as reasonable a batsman as Perry, coming in at number 8 in the order. It does stiffen up the batting. Wasn't used much with his off spinners in this test match, as we watch that ball turn right across him from round the wicket. Well, he has got a pretty good impression in his first test series. He's had a lot of experience, of course. He's age 30, played a long time for Jamaica. Gone, caught it mid-wicket. So Perry finally succumbs to McGill, and the West Indies have lost their 7th wicket for 184.
That was good thinking by Stuart McGill. He was the one who insisted that that man be removed from the offside and placed on the onside to Nehemiah Perry. And it was hit straight at him. Michael Slater, the man at that short mid-wicket position, taking the catch. And Stuart McGill at last gets one. It's 184 for 7.
Nissan would like to apologise to Vodafone, Michelin, Hewlett-Packard and Castrol, sponsors of the Racing Primera, for the car's performance last year. Sorry you couldn't see your logos, guys.
Curly Ambrose now comes in, the tall left-hander, to replace Nehemiah Perry. Flicked away hard, but straight to the fielder. Straightforward two-handed catch.
That was well held. Was very powerfully hit by Nehemiah Perry. And every wicket so valuable now. Three more wickets to get for Australia.
Tremendous blow down the ground by Ambrose, first up.
This is a good shot from Curtly Ambrose. Went in the air, but straight down the ground. Not looking to hit against the spin. Just hitting straight through the line. And he got close enough to the pitch to play that shot. Well, Adrian Griffith, as we said before, he has been there a long time and he's seeing the ball well.
Successful over for Stuart McGill, 188 for 7. So his first wicket coming in his 18th over. Now McGrath with Griffith, who has been so long defiant. Adrian Griffith, 173 deliveries so far. Been in there for 227 minutes.
And looking very assured, Adrian Griffith. Playing the type of innings that is required under these circumstances, just looking to survive, picking up his runs every now and again if he gets the opportunity to do so.
He's had his problems, and on the evidence of what we've seen in his 3 test matches, wouldn't have established himself as the answer to the West Indies opening problems by any means, but this innings here will really boost his confidence, make him feel that he belongs in test cricket, which I think was one of his problems before, that perhaps he didn't quite have the self-confidence, the self-belief. Beautifully bowled. Again, that movement flashing past the outside edge, making McGrath even more grumpy.
Really getting this older ball to swing, Glenn McGrath. Must be wondering to himself what next he has to do, Glenn McGrath.
Well, he's now going to claim the new ball. Really a lot of frustration for Glenn McGrath throughout this innings. In fact, the fast bowlers throughout the series have beaten the bat so consistently. We saw Curtly Ambrose yesterday, and even when Steve Waugh made that 199, Dave Orchard just signals the new ball being taken. So it comes at 188 for 7, and we're now into the 86th over of the innings, 87th over the innings, 86 overs and 3 balls. Much harder ball, of course, so they'll go off the bat a lot faster. They'll get 2 for that.
New ball, harder, but also less swing than McGrath. With that delivery, looking to pitch up, looking for the same amount of swing. No swing there at all, just going straight across the body of the left-hander. Suppose now that Nehemiah Perry, the right-hander, is out, they are not afraid to take the new ball. No more McGill to right-handers. Two left-handers at the wicket again for the West Indies, Adrian Griffith and currently Ambrose. So I suppose Steve Waugh thinks to himself, well, two fast bowlers. McGill hasn't been having a very happy time against the left-handed batsman.
End of the over, 190 for 7. Well, here's a bit of a strange policy. One out of the hat, you might say. Stuart McGill is going to use the new ball with Glenn McGrath. He's bowling to Curtly Ambrose in the commentary box. David Hooks, who I'm sure will be interested in this decision by Steve Waugh and Alan Border.
Thank you, Tony. Certainly an unusual decision. Brand spanking Dukes in his hand. Got him. So it's worked. Ambrose, who defied Australia in the last Test match to help Brian Lara win the match, hasn't been able to do it today. On the stumps, and it hit the stumps.
Good delivery. This pitching just perfectly. Good length, little bit of turn with the new ball. Straight through the defences of Curtly Ambrose. He's been bowled by Stuart McGill for 4. The West Indies now 8 for 190.
Good morning, members of the press and friends. On this historic day, it is my great honor. We as a nation very proud. Commander, are you on the next flight?
What kind of car is that?
It's a Volvo.
But how long have we been away?
Corey Collymore, the number 10 for the West Indies, comes to the crease. He's Australia's newest new ball bowler. Got rid of Ambrose. I must say, given how well Ambrose played in the last Test match in Barbados, with a few heavy clouds around, who knows what could happen in half an hour's time if they've been able to bat it out. And Stuart McGill had that fade again, Alan, when he got a wicket. The left-hander came in and smacked him for 4 first ball. He must have thought, here we go again.
Yes, he's definitely going to be sick of them, but when they come out and play shots like that, it won't matter. But now he's got a right-hander to bowl to. Interesting decision to keep the same bowlers in operation, but use the new ball. But it's paid dividends. Stuart McGill has got a reasonable grip on the ball, even though it's new.
Getting quite blustery here. It's been very good for 4.5 days, and just now, around about 20 past 1 in the afternoon, just a little bit blustery and overcast. That's the worst that we've seen the weather since we've been here for the last week. And the wrong one that went wrong. He got away with it, though. A wicket for Stuart McGill, 190 for 8.
So obviously the writing was on the wall at this stage for the West Indies. They were in dire trouble, matters of time stretching ahead of them, and they only had 2 wickets in hand. They resisted stoutly, though, and we're going to actually move on a bit now in proceedings. We're going to pick it up 9 overs later. 11 more runs have been scored. So it's McGrath now to Collymore, and the end is close.
Well, he's certainly giving him a working over.
A good short delivery here. Comes back into him and just lands short of Michael Slater in the sort of floating force slip. I think Collymore thought it was going to just go past harmlessly outside off stump. And all of a sudden that ball ducked back in at him and defended off. Still yet to score. It's his first-class career. Doesn't look that much of a mug with the bat. First innings, Corey Collymore. Well, he can't do much about that, can he? I think a better batsman would have got out on that one.
Let's have a look at it again. That one really lifted and also just flashed past the outside edge. I thought he left it pretty well.
Well, that's right. That's what I say. A better batsman probably would have made the mistake of just trying to get into line a bit more and probably have caught that edge. But that ball did jump. We haven't seen too many. Occasional one. But that certainly did.
Shot which he played quite frequently in the first innings. Up there, he'll throw the bat at it. Hit a couple of big drives off McGrath in the first innings. Doesn't get the left leg right into place, as the coaching books tell you. Once you get enough bat onto it. Well, he's played that pretty well. He's been shaken up by some short balls, but he's still getting in behind it. In fact, looking at his guard, he seems to be right in front of middle and off. Right, a little bit outside of his crease, right in line with the stumps.
Well, he does look like he's taking block and off stump there, Tony. I see what you mean. You want to make sure that he gets bat on the ball if that's the caper, because his legs will be right in front. We'll just see where he settles down here. Well, it's almost off stump. With that bat situation, his toes are right in line with middle.
So the end of the over, 201 for 8. More frustration for McGrath.
This Sunday at 12 on Sky Sports 2. The elite,
the triple,
face the formidable. Both chasing the FA Cup semi-final.
Manchester United against Arsenal.
Two giants on a collision course.
Pursuing a dream.
In the game of the season. A massive cup clash that epitomizes
talent, honor, commitment.
Ultimately, tragedy for one.
How cruel this going to be.
And ecstasy for the other.
What a deadly finish.
Very good chance to beat them.
The AXA-sponsored FA Cup semi-final, Manchester United Arsenal, exclusively live, Sunday at 12, Sky Sports 2.
And cut.
Go on, Colin. Show the people how they can transform their gardens with Cuprinol's beautiful garden shades. He can change colour, you know. Can't you, Colin? Oh, well, you'll have to take my word for it. Garden shades from Cuprinol.
Remember how Cheltenham and Gloucester mortgages are so streamlined? With no valuation. Call us now for all the details on 0800 333 900 or sail into any branch of Cheltenham and Gloucester, Lloyds Bank or TSB. Cheltenham and Gloucester, looking after your best interests.
Hey, that's my pen.
No, it's not. This is my pen.
No, it's a black ballpoint. It's definitely mine.
Yes. Well, a lot of pens look alike, you know?
Look, can I just have it? What would Samo do? Yeah, well, just... I don't... You can borrow it.
Bravo!
Don't miss Homer Week this week on Sky One.
So West Indies continue to fight on here. As McGill now to Griffith. And he struck that well. Puts it away for 4. Moves him on to 56.
Well, just hitting with the spin here. Whips it through mid-wicket, a whitish mid-wicket. There is a man there short, Greg Blewett, but he hits it way over his head. Low and hard. It's a good shot. Right through the gap, over the top. Four and a half hours now for Adrian Griffith. Touch over that.
Ball.
Well, one wonders, Tony, if he had a few people to stick around with him. I mean, he's batted for 4.5 hours and hasn't made it look too hard, has he?
A lot of appealing, a lot of questions to be answered by the umpires throughout this innings.
Well, he hasn't gone too far forward, but the spin that McGrath's getting is pitched outside. It's very hard to give anything LBW. You just have that gut feeling yourself that that would have missed the stumps by a fair way, the spin that he is putting on it.
Well, he was going for the big pull. I think in the end he remembered the man there and really pulled the shot back.
Well, he's checked the shot, but hasn't landed too far short. The man just behind square there, Miller.
Last ball. Now let's see if he tries to get the strike here. Well bowled, he can't get it. 205 for 8.
A long, hard day at the office for Adrian Griffith, but he's done a pretty fair job. Hit on the elbow yesterday, left the field injured, come back late yesterday afternoon, and the West Indies batting was in trouble. And here he is, batting all day today so far. Long innings, 274 minutes.
So once again, McGrath has the opportunity against Corey Cullimore. Cullimore's been in there, faced 28 deliveries so far.
Well, McGrath probably wondering how many times he can go past that outside edge. Cullimore probably thinks he left that one, but I think he pulled out of the shot a little bit too late. But nonetheless, he missed it.
Missed that one too, as has happened so frequently during McGrath's bowling. He's now in his 34th over.
Well, 34 very high-quality overs as well. It's hard to remember a bad delivery. He shakes his head. He just wonders how many times can I go past the outside of that bat without getting a nick.
No wonder he booted a advertising signboard and damaged his ankle early in the match. Got to take the frustration out on something. And it's gone away. So he gets off the mark. Will go all the way to the ropes for 4.
Bit of a wild slash there. Adrian Griffith can afford to chuckle, but Collymore gets off the mark just wide of Greg Blewett. Backward point there. Threw the bat at it. Just going wide, possibly just a touch short of him too as well, but right through the gap. McGrath can't believe it. Adrian Griffith just backing up there. Found a bit of humour in that as well. I don't think McGrath will bat.
That's a very solid defensive stroke. McGill's frustrations there again, rousing the crowd.
Well, McGrath just pretending he was going to throw that delivery. A little bit frustrated, but baiting the crowd up more than anything. Got him in.
And right in behind it again. So Corey Collymore showing some character here. 209 for 8.
Bit of amusement for the West Indian crowd there. Bit of gamesmanship from the batsman and the bowler. The batsman getting the better of the bowler but on this occasion, and McGrath for the receiving end. A few smiles around the crowd. Lots of interested fans in here today.
Against Street.
McGill now to Griffith. Australia being held up here. Collymore has been out there now for 3/4 of an hour following the dismissal of Ambrose.
It's pretty hard to allow for that much spin, isn't it? Even McGill's laughing at some of the ones that are going. I mean, where do you land that? To get it anywhere near the stumps, to just about be off the pitch.
He's given him. Leg before. Steve Bucknor thinks and thinks and thinks, and then says yes. Finally, McGill gets a leg before, and Adrian Griffith trudges back in great disappointment. He's really fought and battled very, very hard, and he would have liked to have been there at the end, whichever way it would have gone.
Well, I just made the statement, where do you land it to try and hit those stumps off the pitch, and that's just about dead. Spun a mile. Umpire gave it a long thought, and then unfortunately for Griffith, the finger goes up. So the end of a very good patient knock from Griffith, on his way for 56, and the West Indies 9 for 209.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Look, I'm sorry, but I was passing and your door was ajar. I'm afraid you've been burgled.
Joking.
They
They've completely ransacked the place.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Oh, how awful. Well, it doesn't look like they've taken too much.
Oh, good.
No, they must have got disturbed and just run off. Yeah. I better get on and sort it out. Hi, I think it's about time I got a cleaner. Could you manage about 3 hours a week? Great, hang on a sec.
You do not want to see what they have done in your bathroom.
With whole wheat, real fruit and nuts, Fruitabix is the irresistibly tempting cereal.
Derek, I don't believe it. He's done it again.
Fruitabix. There just aren't enough breakfasts in the day.
Visit Homebase now and you'll find more money-saving offers than they've ever had before. Ever!
Homebase have 40 different lawnmowers with up to 25% off.
More savings than ever. Ever.
Neil.
Over 400 Homebase brand paints reduced by up to 25%.
More savings than ever.
And all bathroom suites have up to 20% off.
Ever.
Neil?
Ever.
Neil!
With more savings than ever, you're better off at Homebase.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
So Courtney Walsh now comes in as the last West Indies batsman. There are 3 overs left, 3 balls left in this over. And Australia within 1 wicket of winning the match, as we see the decision against Adrian Griffith.
Well, no shot applied there by Griffith. It's the only reason he could possibly give him out, but it's a good judge to work out whether that's going to hit the stumps or not. But unfortunately, Steve Bucknell thought it was, and the end of a very good dogged innings there, unfortunately, for Adrian Griffith. He goes for 56, and now it's just Walsh and Collymore left. Well, this one didn't bounce much at all. More of a toppy than a leggy, and just fizzed through, kept low.
That's very well kept down by Courtney Walsh. Ends off the over, 209 for 9.
Good over from McGill, a wicket maiden. Moved the man that's been a thorn in their side all day, Adrian Griffith. A very good delivery, spun a long way. Maybe a little bit of doubt in it whether it would have hit the stumps or not, but the umpire are judging it out. So the 9th wicket fell. Just 1 wicket remaining here for the Australians to take.
Here's the last ball of the previous over, and Courtney Walsh played it really well. He kept it well down, back angled. There are 2 slips in there waiting for any edge. And he would feel pretty proud of that. Now Glenn McGrath in his 35th over. Still looking for his first wicket of the day.
Shane Warne anxiously watching on there. The rest of the Australians be pretty happy. Jeff Marsh sitting down at the foreground there. Errol Alcott, physio. And that man there be a relieved man. No smiles on the face yet, not till that last wicket falls. And McGrath, 2 on 29, looking for his 30th wicket of the series, just 4 matches. And he's bowled well all day. Tony Cozier said 35 overs. hardly bowled a bad delivery and still wicketless today. Hard to imagine. Gillespie there hanging out the window with the silver rimmed glasses. The match off. Another star there to relieve this match, Shane Warne.
Now, Corey Cullum are coming through this very well. I think the West Indies will look at this young man after this test and know they have someone here at least with character and attitude. He's been given a barrage, but he stood his ground.
He's played that pretty well in the end, took the hands off the bat so the ball didn't fly. Keeps his eye on the ball right to the last minute on that delivery, but usually watches him right onto the bat.
So Cullimore here being peppered by McGrath. Been out there for just 10 minutes short of an hour now. Cullimore, he's now faced 38 deliveries. Walsh comes down to have a word with him. He's got a knock on the right glove, and he's asking for attention from the dressing room. So Australia will have to wait a little bit longer. But it seems if he's got his left glove, Dennis Waite comes out.
Just fending off that short delivery there from McGrath. Just wrapped him on the left glove. Just probably got the grease spray up there. Dennis Waite just having a look at it. Not much you can do about it at the moment. I'm going to put a bit of the old spray on it. Australian flags flying proudly there on the western side of the ground. McGrath just having a drink.
Looks to me as well as if there are a couple of West Indians out there who've decided to change sides. Got the Australian flag waving proudly.
Well, I think they realise they've had a pretty good series. The West Indians have to be fairly pleased with the way the team's gone this series after the South African debacle. They've come back here, showed a lot of spirit.
And even today, in the situation the West Indies have found themselves in, the younger players today have put their hands up and really battled Adrian Griffith. He reckons he just can't hold the bat. Would be an anticlimax if the match is decided on a retired hurt. Maybe just stay out there and see if he can, in fact, just battle it out. Nehemiah Perry stuck around for some time, Bradley Jacobs for a long time. All the newer members of the side, and now Corey Cullimore in his very first test match getting a battering from one of the leading fast bowlers of the day, and taking that glove on very gingerly. But he has remained out there, and he has battled as well.
There could be a fair chance one of those fingers could be broken. Tony as well, showing a lot of discomfort there. Topping the ball flush on. It's a newish ball. And he faces up again to McGrath.
And he digs it out, and he'll take the run. And in fact, they should take two. And there are two. Now they realise that there are two in it. Pushed it down the ground. Not showing any discomfort from the hand injury. Just flexing his fingers there now.
McGrath tried for the Yorker. He jammed down on it. And then just walks up for one and then realised maybe I should take the strike. No offence against Courtney Walsh, but I think Collymore is probably a better bat.
Walsh decides that he'll take McGill. Easy single. Walsh declined to take it. end of the over, 211 for 9.
They save another fiery over from McGrath. 2 batsmen, the last 2 West Indian batsmen remaining. Collymore getting a few raps on the fingers. Courtney Walsh a bit of advice, but nonetheless, we saw the over out. Now it'll be McGill's turn.
So here's McGill now. 1 wicket to get for Australia. And the batsman with more ducks than anyone else in the history of Test cricket, standing between them and a series levelling victory and the retention of the Frank World Trophy.
Well, he's got those telescopic legs down the pitch. There's a lot of leg there, and it gets him down a long way. Looks like a pretty long bat as well. Tall man.
Nice and patient.
Walsh has survived 3 balls of the over. Great expectation all around the ground and on the field, no doubt.
Well, he's got to make sure he gets something in the way of those and bowl him around his legs. The amount of spin he's getting out there. I'm not sure to make sure he gets the bat or his leg in the way of it. Well, the Australians in the crowd pretty relaxed and confident.
Last ball of the over now. Australians on the balcony there just waiting for the final wicket. And Walsh has survived the over. 211 for 9.
177 runs behind the West Indies. Just 1 wicket between them and an Australian victory. The inevitable on the faces there from the West Indian crowd. McGrath again to Collymore from the pavilion end. 3 slips, 2 gullies.
Collymore riding that pretty well. He really is making them fight for his wicket.
Well, it is quite easy to go out there, isn't it, Tony, and just throw the bat and get out and say, well, you know, what could I have done? But the pride part of it comes in there. You go out there, do your best right to the end. And that is one thing I think that's been the big change around in the West Indies side this summer, or this season, against the Australians as they fought tooth and nail.
I can tell you in South Africa, in the series which preceded this one, there wouldn't have been this fight. There certainly wasn't towards the end. A lot of the players out there didn't seem to value their wickets. But as you mentioned, it's really been a complete transformation. And even though they're on the brink of defeat here, they've drawn the series against the team accepted as the strongest in the world. And they're out there still fighting.
Well, that's exactly right. 2-all against, well, arguably the best team around at the moment in world cricket, test team. And possibly one day, we'll soon find that out in the World Cup. But get up from 2-all and cropping a thrashing and going down 1-0 so convincingly here in the first test, and then bounce back off the floor from that and turn it around. was a monumental effort.
Now the gully comes in close. Ball taking him on the shoulder. Maybe the forearm guard. Big appeal for a caught behind, and they look very disappointed. Umpire Orchard just goes, come on, get on with it.
Well, there was a big noise. Maybe the umpire thought it was the arm guard. Australians pretty confident in this appeal. Well, it's right off the glove. Umpire must have thought it was the arm guard, but that has. You can see the look in the eye of the batsman there. I wonder if he saw that. Unfortunately for him, he didn't see it. It definitely does look like it's hit that glove. There's no doubt in the Australian team mind.
Big celebrations for the Australians. He's walking off. Corey Collymore walking away, not waiting for the decision. And that's the end of the match, a rather anticlimactic end to the match in that the Australians were celebrating. They are now, and Australia have beaten the West Indies by 176 runs, leveled the series, and retained the Frank World Trophy, which they first won after a long period here in the Caribbean in 1995. Celebrations among the Australian players, the Australian fans as well. And Glenn McGrath appropriately finishes off the match and the victory with his 30th wicket in the series. West Indies are fighting and fighting hard all the way down to the end. Steve Waugh has avoided a loss in his first series as captain of Australia in succession to Mark Taylor, and he'll be a relieved man that this victory has leveled the series and retained the trophy. It'll be disappointment for the West Indies. Two great fast bowlers there embracing as they go off. Courtney Walsh, who was left not out, and Glenn McGrath. Australian flags and Australian supporters and Australian baggy green caps signifying this victory at the Antigua Recreation Ground. Steve Bernard, the manager of the team there, Errol Alcott, the long-serving physiotherapist, and a couple of bounces from McGrath, finishing it off. The first one turned down by the umpire, looked as if it had come off the glove. And then this one, a bounce of the Corey Collymore off the glove there, into the close gully who had been set in there. That's Stuart McGill. Umpire didn't give the decision, but Corey Collymore realized it was out and walked off. Brian Lara would be immensely disappointed at not being able to retain the trophy, or regain it, I should say. But there's absolutely nothing for the West Indies to feel ashamed of. They have put up a wonderful fight in this series and gave us some outstanding cricket, some memorable cricket all the way through. It's been a very competitive series. Who would have thought that after the West Indies had lost the first test by 312 runs, having been bowled out for their lowest total ever in Test cricket, 51 at Port of Spain just over a month ago. This is a revitalized West Indies team, and they've given the team rated justifiably as the strongest in Test cricket at the present moment a real fight for their money.
Yep, there we are. The Australians won it by 176 runs. It took a bit of time for them to get those last few wickets, but they got them eventually with all sorts of overs to spare in the bank. I think you could hear the collective sighs of relief from Australians around the world that they had indeed managed to win the match, square the series, and thus retain the Frank Worrell Trophy. And Dave Gilbert was sighing along with the rest of them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, after winning that first test so convincingly and
then to witness a fantastic comeback by the West Indies. I think, you know, Australia did, you know, stand up and be counted when it was needed. 2-all, I think that's a fair result.
Interesting, wasn't it? The pressure on in that last Test match. The Australians just looked the more focused, the more committed, and the ones who wanted it more.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird one, wasn't it? I mean, when the West Indies won that gripping Test match in Barbados, 2-1 up, it was almost as if, okay, well, we can't be beaten in the series, so we'll settle for that, which they didn't really, you know, seem to get really into this Test match, which was a bit disappointing because obviously the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy was up for grabs, and on the back of a 5-0 shellacking in South Africa, what a way to bounce back.
Now, what did you think about Australia's performance in this Test match, and in particular the bowlers? There was great controversy because Steve Waugh had made the brave decision, if you like, had dropped Shane Warne and brought Miller in, and everybody said it's given the bowling attack a much more balanced look. How do you think they performed?
Not too bad. I mean, badly missed Gillespie. I mean, he really does give the fast bowling that extra edge, and he's great, you know, support for Glenn McGrath. Taking nothing away from Adam Dale, who I think, you know, did a very serviceable job in the circumstances. But I mean, Warne will get back in there. It's just a matter of time. He's just got to get his confidence back. I mean, you've got to remember, never mind 4 wickets in 4 tests in the Sheffield Shield leading up to his Test comeback. He had 8 wickets at 65. So this has really been an ongoing problem for him. So he just needs to get his confidence back and then balance the attack, you know, all around.
Joe, talking of balance, though, would you like to see there to be 3 genuine seamers in the side? Gillespie, McGrath and another, and then the spinners. In other words, get a genuine all-rounder in there somewhere?
Probably, yeah. I really feel at the moment looking for someone...
McGrath's taking a huge amount of the work on his shoulders, isn't he?
Well, that's right. Looking for someone like Blewett to do the first change or whatever. It's not ideal, is it? And, you know, there's plenty of guys who'd love to do the job. I mean, Mike Kasprowicz, Andy Bickle, you know, those sort of people are champing at the bit for a chance. They just need to get it.
Right, well, afterwards, when the party was just about in full swing, they had to break off for a moment or two at the St John's Recreation Ground because it was presentation time and a chance for Steve Waugh to get his hands on that Frank Worrell Trophy. And let's see what happened now and join Michael Holding.
Brian, congratulations again. This is an extra good effort from you. I think throughout this series, this must be a little bit pleasing, although certainly you'd have loved to have gotten the Frank Worrell Trophy.
Yeah, of course, number one priority was the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy. But I think Reds also mentioned a couple of Australians, Glenn McGrath, who I thought bowled brilliantly and was a sight to behold throughout this Test series. Steve Waugh's batting and captaincy. And I want to congratulate the Australians on retaining the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy. And hopefully, in 2 years' time, it'll be another great battle.
Personally though, Brian, although you see there are so many great performances, it must be pleasing that you could have beaten so many other good performances throughout this series.
Yeah, I was happy to be a part of it and to contribute. But most importantly, I think the effort by both teams to maintain high-quality cricket was the thing that stood out to me.
Okay, Brian, congrats again and thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
The final presentation, ladies and gentlemen, the trophy on the table there. I'd like to invite Mr. Steve Waugh, the Australian captain, to come forward and accept that trophy from Mr. Pat Russo, the president of the West Indies Cricket Board. And of course, Steve, there's also a cheque to be collected from Mr. Colin Shorey. Steve, congratulations to you and your team. Must have been a bit frustrating today, though, waiting this long.
Yeah, I guess so, but it was a great comeback after losing the last test. That was a tremendous test, as we all said, and to lose such a close one and come back showed a lot of character.
Great test series. Did you expect a series as tight and as fighting as this one?
I wasn't sure what it was going to produce, but there's some great cricketers on both sides and desperate to do well. And I knew the West Indies would probably show improved form at home in front of their own crowds. They've got a lot of pride, a lot of tradition in their cricket, and it was a credit that they come back the way they did here. From our point of view, we really wanted this trophy. It means as much to us as an Ashes earned, so we're very happy to have it again.
We have a past Australian captain in our commentary team, Alan Border, who said he was shell-shocked at the end of the Barbados team. What was the feeling within your team?
Pretty much the same. We were very disappointed. We gave it everything on that last day, but there had to be a winner and had to be a loser. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong end of that, but more importantly, we had to come back in this game, and that showed great character, and I was really proud of the way the guys played this game.
There has been so much controversy, Steve, over pitches around the entire world these days. What were the pitches like here in the Caribbean?
I think the first one was probably a little bit unfair to the batters, but after that, I thought they were excellent. It was excellent here. Barbados was great. There's some very good wickets around the place. I thought they were very good.
I know you wouldn't want to single out any particular player in your team, but are there any special instances in the series that you will long remember?
I think there's a lot of, it was a great series, fluctuated so many times and you weren't sure who was going to win, but Glenn McGrath, I think, deserves special mention. He's 30 wickets and I think he set 79 runs as well. Great performance, and I thought Ian Healy, the way he kept in this match, it was a great performance and a great comeback and showed everyone that he's the best keeper in the world.
Thank you very much, Steve. Congratulations again to you and your team.
Thank you, Mark.
That brings us pretty much to the end of this official part of the presentation. I think, though, that we should all give both teams a big, loud cheer because I think this series was a very interesting series, well fought, and I think congratulations has to go to both teams. Congratulations, of course, to the Australians for retaining the Frank Worrell Trophy. Thank you very much.
So there we are. The Australians have still got the Frank Worrell Trophy, and now they'll play a series of 7 one-day internationals against the West Indies. Brian Lara, the man of the series, which hasn't been universally greeted with joy by David Gilbert.
Well, I mean, you know, as an ex-fast bowler here, I mean, I'm always saying it's a batsman's game, isn't it? I mean, 30 wickets in 4 test matches. I mean, he at least deserved a share of, you know, of that award. I mean, I think it's scandalous. I mean, as well as Lara played, I think McGrath was truly the outstanding bowler from both sides.
And we also, incidentally, ought to tell you that McGrath's 30 wickets, of course, is a new record for an overseas bowler in the Caribbean in a test series.
Well, that's it. I mean, you heard Steve Waugh say that 3 of the 4 pitches were very good for Test cricket. So, I mean, McGrath's had to get those wickets on surfaces favouring the batsman. So, you know, he deserves a lot more to show for that.
Quick word about Ian Healy.
Well, I mean,
time to go?
I mean, he did show a lot of fight and a lot of character in this Test match, but he had a pretty miserable time with the bat. And in the past, Australia have been very lucky that he's chipped in at number 7. And if his runs dry up at number 7, that's going to seriously affect the balance of the side.
OK, David, now then, we ought to just remind you that we've not only been Antigua, we've also been in Sharjah today for the opening game of the Coca-Cola Cup, and I'm afraid if you haven't been with us throughout, it's not very good news apart from England's point of view, because Pakistan have thrashed them. They scored 323 for 5, with Ijaz making 137. England all out for 233, but good news was the debut of Flintoff. He looked magnificent, hit 4 huge sixes, and that really was most encouraging. Now then, the next Sharjah game is tomorrow, and we'll be back here at just before 12 midday, and it's a top match as well because it's India against Pakistan. If you like local derbies in international cricket, they don't come more pent up and charged up than this one, so join us for that. And of course, our Sharjah coverage continues like that. England are playing on Friday as a rest day Saturday. England again on Sunday, when we'll also be in St Vincent for a one-day international. And so it goes on till we get to the final at the end of next week. And don't forget, of course, we're counting down to that day, Friday the 14th of May. The World Cup opens with England against Sri Lanka, live from Lord's, Sky Sports 1. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. David Gilbert, thank you very much for being with us, and you can go home now. Still world champions Australia, so well done.
Pretty happy with that.
And that's it. See you tomorrow at just before midday. For now, bye-bye.
This Sunday at 12 on Sky Sports 2. The elite, the triple, face the formidable.